Hello and welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to clear up some confusing vocabulary, so let's get started. Today we're talking about the difference between these two. Every time and all the time. They're different, and they're used in different situations, so let's take a closer look. When I say every time, I'm talking about something specific. Example, every time he goes to the store, he buys milk. Every single time he goes to the store, he buys milk. And the position, I can put it in the beginning and say every time he goes to the store, he buys milk. Or I can switch it and say he buys milk every time he goes to the store. So again, every time he goes to the store, he buys milk. I put it at the beginning. Or I switch it and put it in the middle. He buys milk every time he goes to the store. They both have the same idea. And they're both correct. Let's practice. Does he buy milk every time he goes to the store? That's right. He buys milk every time he goes to the store. Now let's talk about all the time. All the time is more general. Example, he plays video games in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. So he plays video games all the time. Just in general. Let's practice. Does he play video games all the time? That's right, he plays video games all the time. And we see that all the time goes at the end of the sentence. That's the only place we can put it. I cannot put it in the beginning. I cannot say all the time he plays video games. I cannot put it in the middle and say he all the time plays video games. It has to be at the end. He plays video games all the time. Another example. She speaks English at work and she speaks English at home. So can I say every time she speaks English or she speaks English all the time? Which one is correct? That's right. She speaks English all the time. We cannot use every time in this situation because it's just general. I can say every time she goes to work, she speaks English because that's a specific time. Let's practice. Does she speak English every time she goes to work? That's right. She speaks English every time she goes to work. The idea, every specific time. Thank you for watching, and keep watching to clear up more confusing vocabulary. Today we're looking at these words, outer, otter, and utterly. They're all a little different. So let's take a closer look. First, let's talk about outer. It comes from the word out or outside. So the pronunciation, use the ow sound, like how and now. Ow, outer. It's a fast D. Outer, not outer, but outer in American pronunciation. Outer is an adjective. It describes something that is on the outside. We have an opposite, inner. Inner describes something that is on the inside. So we have outer and inner. They're both adjectives. And they're opposites. Example, you can say outer space. If you leave the planet, you are in outer space. Sometimes people say space, and sometimes people say outer space, because it's outside. That's why we say outer space. Some people want to go to outer space. He wants to go to outer space. But I don't. I want to stay right here on Earth. I don't want to go to outer space. Let's practice. Does he want to go to outer space? That's right. He wants to go to outer space. That's why he started SpaceX. What about you? Do you want to go to outer space? Very good. Let's hear some examples.
He's a man from outer space, and we're taking him to a spaceship.
Lucky me. I can go to outer space and my hair will still look good.
Yep.
I mean, she really, truly believes that there are people in outer space who are bombarding her brain with microwaves and controlling her ideas.
We are going to show you just what our life is like for the three of us here in the vast expanse of outer space.
The crew, as always, continues to act admirably despite the rigors of our extended stay here in outer space.
All they want now is capsules up in outer space.
What? From outer space, an alien.
An army. From outer space.
In fact, he made us all think his wildfire lab could handle any contamination from outer space.
So with the word outer, you can describe anything that's on the outside. For example, M&Ms. Are they pure chocolate? No. They're chocolate in the middle, but they have an outer shell. The shell is on the outside, so we use the adjective outer. They're not chocolate all the way through. They're not pure chocolate. They're chocolate in the middle, but they have an outer shell. These are M&Ms. Let's practice. Are M&Ms pure chocolate? That's right, they're not pure chocolate. Do they have an outer shell? That's right, they have an outer shell. A shell on the outside. That's an outer shell. Now let's talk about this word otter. Otter. We see the double T making the fast D sound because they're between vowels. We don't say otter, we say otter. This is an otter. It's an animal. Where I live, we see a lot of sea otters. They live in the ocean. They're called sea otters. Whenever I go to the beach, I always see sea otters swimming in the ocean. And they're cute. What do you think? Do you think otters are cute? That's right, otters are cute. Now let's talk about this word. This word is utterly. Here we see the U making a short sound, like cup and up, because the U is before a double consonant. That's why it's short. Utter, utterly. Utterly means completely. Example, he is utterly alone. I can say he's completely and utterly alone. Does that sound redundant? Because utterly means completely. No, it doesn't sound redundant. It just gives it more emphasis. I can say he's utterly alone, and I can say he's completely and utterly alone. It just makes it stronger. Let's hear some examples.
I am utterly alone.
Yet utterly alone.
Cut off from all external stimuli. Completely and utterly alone.
Completely and utterly alone.
Let's practice. Is he utterly alone? That's right, he's utterly alone. Is he completely and utterly alone? That's right, he's completely and utterly alone. I hope he finds a friend soon. I feel bad for him. And we have these words. Utter, utter, and utter. The first and second word look exactly the same, but they mean something completely different. And the last word, utter, is pronounced the same. They're all pronounced the same. So keep watching to find out the difference between these words, because they're really confusing, and they all have different meanings. So keep watching and learn the difference. Today we're looking at these three words, utter, utter, and utter. They're all pronounced exactly the same, but they mean three different things. So let's look at the first one, utter. This utter is an adjective. It means complete and absolute. Example, I can say it was utter chaos. That means it was complete and absolute chaos. It was utter chaos. We see the double T pronounced as a fast D because it's between vowels. Utter, utter. It was utter chaos. Let's hear some examples.
It's utter chaos around here.
It's complete and utter chaos down at the mall. Police and emergency crews are on the scene. We don't really know what's going on, and still no word from Storm and Norman.
Utter chaos, Chief.
Yeah. It was utter chaos in the garden.
Example. How was work today? It was crazy. It was utter chaos. Remember the word chaos, the pronunciation. It doesn't match the spelling. Chaos. Use the k sound like cake, plus the long A, K, and then the ah sound like hot and stop. Chaos. We link the two vowels with the y sound like yes and yesterday. Together, chaos. It was utter chaos at work today. Complete and total chaos. It was utter chaos. Let's practice. How was work today? Was it crazy? Was it utter chaos? That's right, it was crazy. It was utter chaos. Now let's talk about this utter. It's spelled the same as the previous utter, but it's a verb, and it means something completely different. To utter means to make a sound with your voice. I can say he didn't say anything. He didn't utter a word. Remember, it's a verb. He didn't utter a word. And I can change the verb to past. Uttered. In the present, utter. In the past, uttered.
But the idea had been spoken, and the words wouldn't go back after they'd been uttered aloud.
The circus ape is incapable of human speech, and to the best of your knowledge, he's never uttered a word.
That deadly phrase, uttered many times before by hundreds of mothers, was not surmountable by any means known to Kid.
She decided not to utter a word to anyone anymore.
So just for spite, he would never utter a spoken word. He would only sing it.
He cannot utter the simplest word.
Last night, in her sleep, she uttered a phrase, Pana Witchy Salitu.
There is not enough chastity in language, but offense to utter them.
Even more treacherous than he is attractive, he has never uttered a single word without some dishonorable intention.
Example. He was quiet. He was quiet the whole time. He didn't say anything. He didn't utter a word. Let's practice. Was he quiet? That's right, he was quiet. Did he say anything? That's right, he didn't say anything. Did he utter a word? That's right, he didn't utter a word. Now let's talk about this utter. This one's spelled differently. It has a double D. And we do the same pronunciation, the fast D sound. Utter, utter. This is a noun. A cow has an udder. It's where the milk comes from. And what's the action? The action, the verb, is milk. You milk a cow. Example, she's milking a cow. And where does the milk come from? The milk comes from the cow's udder. That's the part of the cow's body where the milk comes from. That's the cow's udder. Let's practice. What is she doing? Is she milking the cow? That's right, she's milking the cow. And where does the milk come from? Does the milk come from the cow's udder? That's right, the milk comes from the cow's udder. So remember these three words. They're all pronounced exactly the same, but they mean different things. Utter, utter, and utter. The first one is an adjective. It means complete and absolute. The second one is a verb. It means to make a sound with your voice. You utter a sound. You utter a word. And the last one is the part of a cow where the milk comes from. That's the cow's udder. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.